Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. That was a pace. This is episode 630. I'm Elora, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les, who's pulling faces today, apparently.
Pulling faces, taking names.
Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. Today is October 3rd. Oh my god, I almost said 2003.
Not quite, my friend.
Yeah, 20 years and 100 and something pounds ago. Yeah, so welcome. We're recording this on a Tuesday afternoon, which is not the norm for us, but it's been a busy week and weekend, and we've had competing priorities, so.
We're slowly getting back to the new normal, though. Your work's starting to calm down a smidge.
I mean, I'm still working swing shift tomorrow before we go out of town on Thursday, so it's better. It's not there yet, but it's getting better. But yeah, so I have some knitting, and that's it this week. So
cool.
You want to go first?
I can. I cast on something new. I cast on a couple new things, actually. Because I finished all the Apply socks, which have been shipped off to JC.
So
Apply
that's
magazine,
4 pairs of socks in like a month.
Like I started at the end of July, so yeah.
It's a lot. Well, you started spinning the end of July.
Yeah, and knitting. Anyway, these are the socks that are currently on my needles, and they are Wool and Zanache Costume Party. I love some Halloween socks, and eventually I will have 31 pairs of Halloween socks. I say that every year.
You do.
And every year I add 1 or 2 pairs. And eventually, by the time we end this podcast, it might happen. Although 2 of my pairs now have holes in them, so I have to darn them. But yeah, wee little toe. My knitting time at work has disappeared. I'm no longer doing intervention because there is no more intervention. So that was when I would go and help kids with math and stuff, and I would knit at the same time. And now that time is gone, which I actually enjoyed it. It was very chill. I got to know the kids a little bit more. But this is living in my Fat Squirrel bag that I just got in her last update. So that is the first thing on my needles. The second thing on my needles is my Floodlight Sienna Wink pigments. I got quite a ways on that this week. So from where that stitch marker is, so like, I don't know, 3 inches, 4 inches. Yeah, so that's my Twin Mountain Witch's hat stitch marker. I have around 8 more inches to go, and then I will do some sleeves and some edging at the top for the keyhole detail. But yeah, slowly but surely making some progress.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Nope, it's like a TT. I have this much left of skein 2, and I have skein 3 still to go. And that is living in an old Fat Squirrel spooky, or not spooky, scary season bag. And then the last thing is a mystery thing. So if you're doing the Telly Beans Knits Mystery Cowl and you don't want to be spoiled, I am about to spoil you. So you might want to fast forward a smidge. I have the first 2 clues done. I'll show you all my colors in a second. So I have this bright pink, this neon pink from Leading Men Fiber Arts, and then a purple out of a gradient set from them that I swiped. So you can see that there's spiders for the top part. And then this was supposed to be Witch's eyeballs, and there's supposed to be a bauble there, but I replaced it with a bead. Because I am not super into baubles, but I am super into beads. And then I just looked at the 3rd clue, so I'm going to be working on that later. I have this on some Diacraft heavy metal needles, and they're working pretty well. It is catching a little bit where the join is here, not where the join twists on.
So from the cable to the shaft, sort of, I forget what that's called.
Yeah. The cable to the connector versus the connector to the needle. So it's not terrible, but it can slow me up a little bit. Other colors that I have for this, I have, I pulled apart some gradient kits from Miss Babs, or some mini kits. So I have this green from Miss Babs.
That surprises me.
I have this gray from Miss Babs. What did I pull apart? Minis? Because I was using stash. I didn't want to have to buy minis. Leading Men. And also this called for, a lot of these call for like 130 yards. And a lot of the minis I have
like
are
80 or 90.
90, 97 I think. And it has to be solids, which I totally get now. Because it's a lot of texture. And this orange from Miss Babs. So yeah. It's all like Miss Babs and Leading Men. So yeah, I pulled apart some stuff. It'll be fun.
It will be. I'm just surprised you did, that's all.
I could have bought new stuff.
I mean...
But yeah. And this one must have been one that I bought on its own, because it's actually got a price on it versus the other ones that were part of sets. And then Leading Men does half skeins, which is a really nice option. Highly approve of that. So that is it for what's on my needles, and that's also in a fat squirrel bag.
Also new.
This one's also new. The medium sized one was not new. Look at those frogs. How could you resist the frogs and the cats? And the witch hats.
Somehow.
Because you're boring.
Whatever. Okay with boring. Anything else?
That's it. That is it for me with works in progress.
Okay. Well, I have got some works in progress. One of them you've been seeing over and over and over. That is the halfway pullover.
I feel like it's only been a couple weeks. Has it been much longer than that? You feel like it's been longer than that? I feel like this is week 3.
No, because maybe the 3rd podcast since we've...
Okay.
But it's been at least a month.
Okay.
So, this is where I was last time we recorded the second pig stitch marker, progress keeper, whatever. I'm about 5-ish inches past that now. So, this is a pullover that's fingering weight held with lace weight. It's intarsia in the round. And it's hip strings yarn. So, I'm going to put a progress keeper to mark where I am right now, so I know next time we record. But yeah, so I think I have to go until it's like almost 12 inches, and then I don't know.
Is that cropped?
No, it's not cropped, but then I think I have to do some prep work for the sleeves or something. I don't remember. I know that I'm supposed to go until 11.5 inches, and then I'll read the rest after. I haven't read through the pattern. Who reads through patterns? Even though every pattern tells you to read through the pattern before.
And you should. That's best practices.
I never do. But I am okay with the fact that if it doesn't work for me, it'll work for somebody. So, whatever. Yeah, so that's this. And that is living in a Fat Squirrel bag that I got. We are not sponsored by Fat Squirrel.
We should be.
We should be, but we are not.
We just love Amy Beth.
She has great taste in prints. So this is her Mushroom Lady. Hold on. Alright, sorry, work. So, yeah, so that sweater is living in a Amy Beth bag, and then I started a new project. This was out of Modern Daily Knitting. We were able to go to their shop during the first day of SSK. Elora went.
Their warehouse.
For me, because I was trying to reserve my emotional energy for the attendees of the event. So they sent her back with some goodies, which is wonderful. And there's my wallet. I'm definitely going to be looking for that later. They have this lovely base called Atlas, which is I think it's
the
Rambouillet.
yarn that they get milled for them. It is
Rambouillet. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it's 180. No. 145 yards.
And I got to pick out the colors for Leslie.
Yeah, so these are the two I haven't used yet. I do like them. They didn't work for what I was looking for. I thought about, so this is the project I'm working on, and I thought about mixing this with this, but those are the colors of the competing school, the South Haven Chargers colors.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I don't know. I'm an
high
eagle.
school. Yeah.
I don't know.
Should have gotten you some maroon, gray, and black.
Yeah, so I'm using the orange is Clementine and the gray is Pebble. It's a lovely wool to work with. It's very soft. I think I'm knitting it too densely, honestly, even though I went up a needle size.
What size are you using?
6, 7. But like, it still feels a little dense for me. I still prefer
I like it
to be
a
little looser. But I'm knitting the puck hat.
It'll be nice and warm. It won't let through a lot of air.
Danny Sunshine. So this is something I already owned, so I didn't have to buy it. Well, I mean, I had already bought it. So as Laura pointed out before we recorded, it's feather and fan, just without the holes. Like it's a make one instead of a yarn over.
I think those are called like ripple stitches.
Yeah.
Like they all fall into that family.
Like a chevron, sort of.
Yeah.
So I just finished the first stripe in the contrasting color, and then the next row I go back to the orange. So
It'll be cute.
yeah, I'm knitting the largest size.
It'll be easy to see you. Hunters won't mistake you for an animal.
I don't know if I'll keep it or not. Michael likes orange, so it might go to him.
Oh, if I had gotten a teal, you could do dolphins.
I know, I thought about that. And then
I don't know that they had.
I was gonna say, I was like, I should go look, and then I was like, I don't need yarn. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Michael's having a great year because he's been a hardcore Dolphins fan.
Up until Sunday, yeah.
Oh, did they lose? I didn't.
They lost by a lot to Buffalo.
Did they lose 70-20?
No, but it was like 50 something to like 20 something. I feel like.
Well, so far they've had a pretty good year. So
yeah,
I personally don't care at all. Could not care less. But he's pretty happy with how they've been doing this year, I guess.
Yeah, they have been doing very well.
And then the last thing I sort of pulled out because it happened to be upstairs, and I continued to be on these 8-hour calls where I have to help end users, some of which are not as tech savvy, and that's perfectly okay. But it does get annoying when you're trying to help them and they're talking over you, and then getting annoyed when they can't understand you because they've talked over you. So that's been super fun.
That sounds super fun.
Also, they can't hear you because they don't know how to turn up their volume, so you have to shout at them. And your son comes in and is like, why are you yelling? Anyway, so this is, oh god, I've forgotten already. It's an Alicia Plummer pattern. It's a linen pullover. Edgerton Light. It's just a simple, like, raglan.
This was something that
jumper.
You already had cast on?
Yeah, I cast it on before SSK, thinking I would take it to SSK, and then didn't. Not that it matters, because I think I got like 100 stitches knitted SSK total. So, so yeah, I finished the sleeve increases. I was on that the last time I showed this, which was in July. So, so I split the increases, and I'm only a couple rows past the divide. So at this point, it's like knit until you are ready to scream. and then
Sounds about right.
there's some texture at the very bottom. So, but yeah, this is a nice open sort of weave, and I'm making it with some linen that Jen from that yarn shop in Indiana. Ooh, what is that yarn shop called? Sheepskeins. Amazing yarn shop. Absolutely lovely. Huge, lots of space, comfortable chairs, great yarn selection, wonderful people. We are also not sponsored by Sheepskeins, but it was a lovely shop. And the owner has been coming to SSK the past couple of years, which is really nice. So, yeah, that's the only other thing that I've been working on. And now it's your job to entertain people. Dance, monkey, dance!
Well, I don't have any finished objects to show because even though I finished stuff, I sent them off. I do have a fun story. I got here and I sit down. So I had my stuff all in this bag and I set it on the ground, and I almost just said Neelix, which is not correct.
That's okay. Jordy.
I was like, it begins with a J. Grabbed one of my bobbins out and was running as I screamed.
Very proud of himself.
Yeah. So he had it like this. It's still wet in his mouth, and was just running, and I thought it was hilarious. And then dropped it on the ground and then picked it back up, and I was like, don't break my bobbin. So I'm in the process of spinning a Knit Spin Farm bat. I'm spinning this on my Ladybug. I spun the singles on my Ladybug long draws, so they are nice and floofy. And this is what the bat looks like. It's here because now the other one belongs to Leslie.
Okay.
So this is Tropical Tea. It is 47% LLYEN, which I have never heard of before, so I'll have to look that up. Lion, I think.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
28% Blue Face Luster and 25% Cordale and some sparkle. So it's got oranges and purples and is just very, very pretty. It's not showing up on camera well. And I have spun the singles, and I'm going to knit little mini pumpkins out of it because it is the season.
It's a breed of sheep from Northwest Wales.
Cool.
Named for the Lynn Peninsula, L-L-Y-N Peninsula.
Okay.
Oh, they're bred for prolificacy, which I think means they have a lot of babies.
Yep, they do.
Good mothering, quiet in nature, high milk, and excellent for wool.
Oh, I wonder why. I don't know. So those singles are done, and I'm going to ply them while I'm here. And then I finished the 8 ounces of Southern Cross fiber, which I accidentally let out last night. Like I left it outside to dry. And it's poofed up nicely. I originally had around 770 yards of a 2-ply. I'm thinking it's poofed up more to like a sport weight, and it's probably more around 700 yards.
It is quite puffy.
Yeah, so I have to decide if I'm going to use this as like stripes in a sweater, or like stripe it with some gray in a sweater, or maybe not gray. I don't know. Or knit a shawl out of it.
I vote for a sweater.
I looked up what comeback is, and it is, thanks to David and Jillian. Jillian Marino is a good friend, and I texted her. I text her all kinds of questions when I don't know the answers.
Poor Jillian.
I know.
Gave us her phone number years ago.
Poor Jillian. And so it's a merino sheep that's bred with a long wool, and then their baby is bred back with a merino, and then this would be that baby's. So second, third generation. So it's got a lot of like soft wool characteristics, but also a little bit longer staple because of that original long wool ancestor. Would you like to feel my wool?
I just restrained an urge to lick it.
I don't think it tastes very good.
Yeah, it's so squishy.
Yeah. So I think it would be fun as one of those, like, was it Suzanne Summer, like striped or color blocked? Do you know who I'm talking about? Yep.
She does a lot of brioche too.
She does, but this girl does not. I know you do. That's why you do all the brioche and I do not. I do all the stockinette. Because that is the speed that I'm at. Although I did just get done with 4 pairs of rib socks.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive.
So, yeah, that is... Oh, I love this so much. David, Southern Cross Fibers, is out of Australia, and he is wonderful. He has a club, but he also sells, like, solids that go with stuff like this. The club colorways every month. And I'm really trying to resist what's up there right now, because there are some really pretty solids. It'll be fun to stripe. Alright, but I'm not. And this was from, like, the May shipment, so there's not more of this. I'm always too late. I'm always a little bit behind.
You typically don't spin immediately.
I do. That is true. So yeah, that is my spinning when it comes to reading. I'm still reading a bunch of hockey romances because hockey season starts in just a week, roundabout. I think the October 10th is the Penguins' first game. And if I had my way, we're going on vacation this week. I would probably take a wheel and just long draw all the bats this week. But, I don't know.
But you don't have your way?
Well, I don't want to take up that much space.
You are bringing a dog.
I know. That takes up quite a bit of space. That's why. Pearl always comes with us and gets spoiled by other people. That's what I forgot to do. She needs her heartworm meds on the 13th, and I was going to stop on my way to your house, but I didn't come that way. I'll have to go tomorrow.
Stop and get heartworm meds?
Yeah, from the vet.
I have some if you want to take them.
She's good for right now. Okay. I just got her tested when she got grooms because they were worried about that tick thing that she still had, and just to make sure it wasn't still there. So I should be good, but she has to get a vet's appointment anyways. It's time for her yearly shots, and I need to do that on a Friday afternoon because she's been having bad reactions the next day.
She's such a diva.
So she is. Last year she was throwing up. Before that she got real sick in 2020. I had to take her to the emergency vet, so I want to be around like the next day.
Yep, understandable.
I also could spread her shots out a little bit more, so they're not all on the same day.
I'd rather get it over with.
Yeah, but not if it's gonna make her sick. I don't know. She's fine.
Would you rather her be sick once or sick like 4 times?
I don't know which one's making her sick. She could be fine. What's Buffy got, speaking of?
She's just chewing on her foot.
Okay. I could see her chewing. I couldn't see what she had.
As she's gotten older, she's an old dog now. We got her in...
She's an old pitty.
2013, and she was 2, so she's at least 12. We honestly think she's a little older than that. But in the last year or so, she's like a pit bull. Kind of a weird mix, but the fur on her paw pads has started to grow out. So now, like, she's got like extra hair coming out of her paw pads.
Oh, see, Pearl has
in between,
very fuzzy in between Pearl.
Yeah, hers typically never were.
Oh, she's an old lady.
So now she's like,
I'm growing a lot more hair than usual too.
But yeah.
But not on my head. That hair is falling out. Oh, poor Buff.
Let's see. So I've been reading Scourge of Pleasantries, which is the Gobelino London book series. Gobelino is a cat, and
it's a great name for a cat.
Yeah. It's a pretty good... I'm rereading the first one, and I haven't been getting naps lately because of the hours I've been working. So by the time I get to bed, it's hard for me to read. Like, I read every single night, but the last week or two, I haven't had the energy, so I haven't. I'm behind.
Do you want me to look up my
ongoing? You're like at 1,000 days or something, aren't you?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I just gave her a reason.
Let me look.
Your Kindle tracks how many days successively you've been reading.
It has for like the last 3 or 4 years. It wasn't prior to that.
And
Time to Shine is the hockey romance that I'm currently reading. Let's see. reading insights. So this year I've read 251 books, and I've read 1,818 days in a row.
It's almost 2,000 days.
Yeah. But that's when they started tracking it 1,818 days ago.
At least. You're
So,
a reader, we get it.
I just read a smidge every day, whether it's if I get a lunch break or before bed. That's what I enjoy doing. That's my jam.
Listening to The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because he has a third book in the series coming out in a month or two. This is one I've re-listened to it a couple times over the year. It came out like 5 years ago, probably longer. And I just started it. It's like epic fantasy, very long, 20-something hours. And I just finished listening to Holly by Stephen King, and it's the newest book.
See, if we tracked your listening, which is reading, you would have that many days.
I would listen. Yeah. I listen to stuff every day.
Yeah.
Between that or podcasts.
Yeah.
I listen to stuff every day. But, yeah, I was a little underwhelmed with Holly. I really like Holly as a character. So Holly is one of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like her as a character. I like her more now that I saw the Outsider series on HBO because in the book she was written as a sort of 40s, 50s white woman with gray hair, and she's played as a white woman in Mr. Mercedes, but in The Outsider she's played by Cynthia Erivo, this absolutely beautiful black woman, super talented. And so now when I picture, as I'm listening, when I picture the action, I'm picturing Cynthia, and I like her better as this character. But I like King's books better when there's some sort of supernatural element to it.
Except for the fairy tale one, right?
Oh God, I did not like that book. Yeah, I don't
Wheezy
know.
did not like that book either.
I just
it makes you feel better.
did not like that book. There were parts of it that were good, but like, I didn't care. But this one, Holly, there's not a supernatural element to. I mean, don't get me wrong, messed up stuff happens, but like,
you know what we could listen to in our car ride? Do you know who put out a biography today?
I've already started it. Leslie Jones?
No.
Oh.
Jean-Luc Picard?
Oh. I started Leslie Jones's.
Okay. I thought...
It's just called Leslie effing Jones.
Yeah.
And
I thought you might be into, whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I like him. I don't know if I like him enough to listen to a biography.
I think that would be kind of fascinating because he did so much on stage prior to that.
Yeah, he did a lot of Broadway.
And
well,
also,
not Broadway, the
London version.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
East Side? Is it East Side? West Side? West Side.
West End.
West End. There we go. Between the two of us, sometimes we know things.
Our one brain cell fires.
Yeah. Because he's also good friends with
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, and I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Like the interviews he's done on that British talk show guy.
Graham Norton.
Yes. Have been really interesting.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting guy. I don't know if I probably would listen to it, honestly.
I was gonna say.
I listen to most everything, so. What about you? What are you reading besides the,
That's it.
Something
Just
Shine?
reading all the hockey romances, watching football. I have my list of Halloween movies I want to watch, which are not horror. They're like Hocus Pocus and Casper and Hocus Pocus 2, Halloween Town, Addams Family. So yeah, we're gonna start watching Taskmaster tonight.
Season 16 with Sue Perkins. I am very excited about that.
Yep. I don't know anyone in it but Sue.
I don't know if I know anybody else. I'm pretty sure I don't. I think it's just Sue. But last season I only knew May.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And
I really liked everyone but the older guy.
Yeah. The last season's like interpersonal play was really great.
And they had that boat task, which I think is one of my favorite tasks of all time.
Book task?
Boat.
Oh, boat, yeah. Yeah, you did really, really like. I think because I've been at Laura's house I've seen that particular task, I think, 4 times.
It's so good.
So, what else? Laura and I are going out of town this weekend.
Yeah.
We have,
Excuse me, I did not get my nap today. Leslie had me hard working.
we, this is the 3rd year we've done it.
Yeah.
We meet up with about half a dozen of our friends and rent an Airbnb somewhere between here and Chicago.
We're going to be in near Paducah, Kentucky this
Yep.
year. Well, an hour from Paducah.
We're hoping to go to the Quilt Museum. We're looking to see if there are any apple orchards around, to see if we can go pick apples, because we did that last year and it was amazing.
So fun. I'm always down for apple picking and apple cider donuts and fudge. All those things.
We're very food centered.
We are.
Entertainment. So.
And board games and everything else.
And we have a lot of crafts we're going to try. Well,
Leslie is going to try a
not
bunch
just
of crafts.
me. There are other people too.
Not Laura, Catherine Linneman.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to.
Good, because I'm not going to.
I haven't even begun packing for that.
I haven't even thought about...
Like, I need to wash some clothes tomorrow and hang them to dry.
Yeah. I have some new overalls that came today, so I might be sporting some new overalls.
I bought 4 Universal Standard mystery boxes.
I cannot wait to see what you got.
So, because they kept sending me emails.
Yep.
And were like, last time ever.
And I was like, yes, but like the dress one tempted me.
See, that didn't tempt me at all.
But I have so many dresses.
Yeah.
Like I have all their dresses. And also, like, the other ones don't tempt me because I'm 6 foot tall.
Right, and the pants aren't the right length.
And the pants, they don't do a lot of talls. They do some talls, but not a lot. So, I need talls.
Yeah.
But I do like their t-shirts quite a lot.
Yeah.
I wore one today to work.
All right, well, I think that's it. We hope you guys have an awesome week and weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.